So hello everybody and happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day. How are you doing today? In today's video, we are actually going to talk about radial column charts. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what they are, how you read them. I'm going to talk about variations of them, pitfalls, that means things that you have to be careful with when using them. And then I'm going to give you examples so you get inspired on how you can use this type of charts. How about that? Okay, so let's get started. First of all, the visualization that you see here, I did it with a tool called Charticulator that is completely free. So if you want to do the same exercise and create this visualization and use it elsewhere, link down below so you will get to the video that shows you how to do it. So what is a radial column chart? A radial column chart is a combination of a column chart and a pie chart. Kind of. So if you look at the chart, you'll see that the axis is round instead of flat like you'll see in column charts. And that's basically the difference. There's no other. So you are getting the chart that is like this and just... So what is that good for, you might wonder? Well, if you have patterns in your data, and then you have a lot of data that you want to display and you want to do it in a column chart, you have a lot of data, people won't be able to see anything, right? So if you bend the chart, you will be able to see patterns emerge. It's actually very, very useful. And stick to the end because I'll show you some examples where this visualization just excels, okay? Okay, so how do we read a radial column chart? So what you would do is, this is Sheffield weather, and each bar, it says on the legend, is each year. So this is, the light blue is 2017, 18, 19, and 2020. And this is by month. So this is all the Januaries of those years, okay? There is one thing missing in this chart, and is the y-axis, which is not really a y-axis, but you know, the radial axis. And I haven't figured out a way to do it in Charticulator yet. I'll let you know once I get it. But in here, you should basically have it like a temperature axis, where it will tell you the different temperatures. Not there, I haven't been able to figure it out, but that's the proper way to actually do it. You'll see it on the examples at the end. So as you can see, this is temperature for a year. So you will see obviously that autumn and winter are colder than the summer months. There is a better way to visualize this. I'll show you also at the end on the examples, okay? So it is very, very easy to read. Now, there are different type of variations that you will find with this type of radial charts, radial column charts. And you can create it with Charticulator here, and it's a great way to demonstrate them. You have, for example, the possibility to stack them. This is another type of stack, you see? You have... Things starts get freaky, right? And then you have packing. So for this video, we're going to stick with our angular, but you'll know that now there are other combinations of this chart that you can use. We will do separate videos for those, don't worry. What are the pitfalls? What are the things that you should be careful when using these charts? Here's the thing. When I created this chart, if you saw the video, you'll see that the inner circle was actually quite big from the beginning, but you can change it in Charticulator. You can do like this, you see, and it will change it. The first thing that you notice, if you do the inner circle smaller, you have to change the position of the, right, the axis, otherwise you won't be able to read it. And this, only by doing that, just makes it harder to read because it is so much farther from the actual axis label. But not only that, as you can see, the rectangulars get distorted quite much, actually. So the chart could be misleading if you are not careful with what you're trying to show, right? So I would recommend to have the rectangulars as rectangular as possible, if that makes sense. Unless you're doing an infographic where you're just trying to show patterns, and maybe you can compress it and nothing matters. But in this case, we do want to show the temperatures. So you have to have quite a wide circle to actually see it. And then you can again go back and put the legend of the axis as close as the data so you can actually follow along and read the chart easier. So that would be my recommendation. Obviously, have a y angular axis, which I haven't been able to figure out yet. That is also a recommendation so people can read it. And why not have guides so you can actually follow, with your eyes. So that would be for future videos. So I'm going to show you now some examples of radial column charts that hopefully will inspire you on ways you can use it with your own data, or when to use this type of charts at all, okay? So I've shown you this. This is grouped by year, so you can see that you can group things, and as soon as you have a pattern, it becomes very, very clear. But if the story that you want to tell is that, how much hotter it's getting every month, this is the way to do it. But if the story you want to tell is, let me show you, where are the hotter periods? Let's say that you are not doing temperature, that you are doing product price or something, or my product or sales. If you have seasonal business like ice cream or something, then you want to say, okay, where are my hot periods? So you can do it like that instead, right? So you can see that with color already that these are the hot periods and these are the cooler periods of your sales, for example. I found a really cool chart online. Let me show you. So this beauty, don't get stuck too much on the details yet, but this thing is gas prices per barrel. I don't know where. I'm going to put a link down below. I think it's on the US, probably. So you can see here that they have exactly the opposite as we did on our temperatures for Sheffield. It has like a year here on the axis, and then it has their months. So January, February, March. So this is one entire year. But what he wants to show, the story that he's trying to tell with the same chart, is how the price evolutions have changed through the years. And because it is a dramatic change, there's a dramatic change, it's just such a great way to visualize it. Now, imagine if you would visualize this as a column chart. You could, right? You could do like a flat thing, and then you will have to scroll, and then you will not really get the entire picture. That's why I think the radial charts are so wonderful when you have patterns that you want to visualize over a long period of time, because you can just bend the axis and then display everything in one go, okay? So now, back to you. Have you used radial column charts before? Did you have any example that would like to share with us? We have a Discord server, which is basically a chat platform that we share, the people that we are following this channel. So go there, join us, and give us some examples of things that you've done with the radial column chart. I would love to see them. So this is all for today. We will continue reviewing more charts. So have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the time with your loved ones. And I will see you again next week. Until then, take care. And bye-bye.